numbers and only, sporadically. But
Right, yeah. Sideboard of a lot of Jund decks.
so I think we might be looking at a slaughter here. Like, this green-white deck was designed to beat the Dragon Master red-green deck, and it does a great job of that.
These guys are all bigger.
Yeah,
bigger, faster.
But they're not bigger than Desecration Demon and Thragtusk.
Right.
And this deck is a little vulnerable to spot removal. Wicher's deck is loaded with spot removal. He's got Lifebane Zombie to make sure he can plan out his turns effectively and get some card advantage, put a fast clock down. He's got tons of removal, and he's even got Mutilate for the total blowouts.
Look at this card here.
Yeah, Staffinim's pretty good.
One Staffinim. Just why not?
Yeah, just you got Trent Reznor in the back.
Ready to one-outer you. All right, so we start off 1-drop by Heath. Sweet name, Heath Perdue. Sounds like he could be a nice little sportscaster. Against Mike Wicher, not too bad. Lockstone Smiter.
This is a great start.
Turn 2,
yeah,
Smiter.
Turn 1 mana creature, turn 2 Smiter. If he's and he's on the play, this is everything going right so far.
Right. And I see, is that a Trostani in your hand? It's a multicolor card, which would be just, it's an Advent. Okay. He's got a bunch of actually every card in his hand is multicolor. It looks like he's got multiple voices. I think he's got. Yeah. Oh man, he's gonna play 2 voices here. Oh, this is disgusting.
Yeah, we're gonna see a Victim of Night in response to hit that Luxon on Smiter.
Right, but this is still just gross.
Oh, okay, Abrupt Decay, sure.
Here comes a second.
I think it was a little greedy to wait on the Abrupt Decay. Because what if Perdue has a Restoration Angel?
Right.
Now he doesn't actually play him. Maybe he just knows. Oh, he does know the deck list. Never mind.
Okay, yeah, But normally I agree. You might as well, play it safe.
This is literally everything going out right for Perdue.
He's going to whiff, I think. He has Advent, like we talked about.
Wow! So we've got the turn 1 mana creature, turn 2 Smiter, turn 3 double voice, and plays around the Lifebane Zombie, which now misses because he's got Advent as a follow-up. This is literally textbook perfect for.
Right, yeah.
This is like the nut perfect.
Exactly,
for
and right on time. Here comes a white creature. Can't touch it. He drew a Fiend Hunter.
Yeah, but he's still going to wait on the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
This is
a block here. So we're going to have a huge elemental. It's going to be a 3/3 now, but we know, obviously seeing his hand, it's going to get a lot bigger than that.
Everything going on right now is just super good for Perdue.
Yeah. So Mike, I think he misses. No, he did not. He did not miss. Did he miss his land drop? Yes, he did. He did. Because
he's on the draw.
Heath had 4 mana last turn. Oh, no, you're right. So, okay. So Mike here did not miss the land drop. So here we go. Big turn from Mike. He needs to. He knows what's coming. He knows Advent's coming. So he has to do things during his turn because if he waits, Voice will get some replica copies here of the elementals. You can't have that happen. So let's see what Mike can do on his own turn here. So 4 mana. See what
some kind of a spot removal spell.
Right. I think that's.
But it's tough because he wants to play around Advent of the Worm.
Right. I mean, he could say go. He'll Advent and then he can Victim it. Because I'm pretty sure there's
it looks like that's his play.
Right. I mean, there's no harm, no foul here. Because he knows that he can still victim
but he's falling way behind because this is going to be another 6 or 7 damage on the next attack.
Right. And he's getting the token. Mike's probably going to say, hold up. Got something for you.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
I got something for you here. And he does.
Wait, lets him ship the turn?
Not.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Wait, does he just not have a spot removal spell?
He has a victim. That's all in his hand.
Is he just waiting because he's going to Victim the Voice because his plan is to Mutilate, but he doesn't have anywhere near enough swamps?
No, you would need a slew of swamps. That's a tongue twister there. A slew of swamps. And he does not have that. So he's going to Victim here.
Yeah, this is going to leave another elemental.
Yeah, this is just going to be a disaster. Drawing the Gavany Township too is not a super shabby draw there. Lets you just continue to pump.
I mean, this is.
I think Mike realized he made a mistake.
This is definitely the likes of which he may never recover from.
Yep, this is a mistake that he's seen, and he knows it. They see him chatting a little bit, and he's like, all right, trigger. Why?
Yeah, trigger, please.
Why?
So there's another elemental.
Take it slow.
Which means the other elemental gets to do even more damage.
Yep, and then we're going to Township. I think Mike might chump block with Mutavault. I don't think it's time for chumping yet, but I don't know
Tough way to do it. Because he's got Thragtusk in his hand.
Right. And you know what? unlike the red-green decks, I don't think this green-white deck really cares about Thragtusk too much, does it? These guys,
not a ton. I mean, it's
huge creatures.
Like,
it's huge.
yeah, I mean, like Thragtusk is a thing. Like, it would trade with an elemental and buy him some time, but he might just be too far behind now because of that extra elemental.
Yeah, and Heath also has the Fiend Hunter for the Thragtusk token left behind afterward. I don't think I'd use Fiend Hunter in this matchup ever as a removal spell for a messenger or one of those unless I'm getting the last points in, because Mike just has like non-stop spot removal. And all those creatures have come into play abilities like Thragtusk. You can't afford to do that. Lifebane Zombie, Disciple of Bolus.
This is a pretty aggressive sign-in board if this is what goes down, but
yeah,
I guess you got to do what you got to do. What'd be nice right now is a Mutilate for 2. That would actually sweep the board.
Yeah.
For the most part, at least one elemental behind.
Did he use Gavany Township?
No, not yet. Oh, so it wouldn't. Yeah, because he doesn't have a Mutilate for 3. That's a Woodland Cemetery, not an Overgrown Town.
Right, yeah, I was actually just wondering because I guess he's planning to play the second Advent in his hand just to really put the brakes on, on Mike here. Just, yeah.
Wow.
This is just too much.
I mean, it's...
See, fool me once. Here we go.
Damage.
See, fool me once, can't fool me twice, right? Wasn't that a Bush line? Fool me once, can't
fool
be
me
fooled
once,
again?
shame on Texas or something. I'm pretty sure that it's something like that. Yeah, fool me once, shame on me, you won't fool me twice.
Yeah,
I think the exact quote.
It was something real, it was clever.
Very intelligent.
Yeah, I like that guy. Real funny guy. All right, so we have Fiend Hunter here on Scavenging Ooze. And just
Paxa. Did you ever see when Bush was talking about the one-finger victory salute that he got when he got off the plane?
No.
Oh, it was hilarious. I'll give it to George White. He's a funny guy.
He's a funny guy.
He was talking about how he had just gotten back to the States, and when he was getting off the plane, he was welcomed with an awful lot of people were giving him the one-finger victory salute.
Oh, I like it. At least you can pick fun at yourself. He did dodge his shoe pretty well. I remember that.
Yes.
He has ninja-like, kind of like reflexes.
One of my favorite reactions ever was Jon Stewart after showing that clip.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, I'm gonna have to tip my hat to you, Mr. President. That's actually funny.
That was real funny, actually. That's pretty awesome. Oh, also, we have a couple preview cards, a couple spoilers coming out, and since we're going to be in the midst of top 8 action, direct you to StarCityGames.com to take a look at them, and we're definitely going to address them further tomorrow. We're going to see if we have time today to mention it a little bit, but tomorrow we're going to get real deep inside the spoilers there and talk about it.
How far?
Far deep. Very deep.
Absolutely.
No comment on that.
So we've got The Rock on the play this time, right?
Yeah.
What's he hoping to draw?
Lifebane Zombie times 2 in a row, I think.
Like a good mix of removal, right?
Right. A Doomblade on turn 2 and some Lifebane Zombies.
Yeah, well, before we start this next game, let's do our first round of trivia. You want to win some SCG Premium? 3 months of SCG Premium?
I mean, if I'm watching, I do.
Yeah.
Because they can't read. They can read me, but they can't read you.
Correct.
They need to read both.
Yes.
And you have both sides of the spectrum.
We got that poker face, so we're like hard to read. Yeah. So if you can answer this trivia question correctly, tweet at us at SCG Live and do all that. We're going to need hashtag SCG Premium. We're going to need the answer. We're going to need all that. Plus, you're going to have to want to win.
Right.
Yeah. So the first trivia question for 3 months of Premium tonight, we saw Adam Prozac playing an exotic, a little exotic deck today.
Yeah.
What colors was his Storm deck that he played today? What colors? What 2 colors? Well, that's even a little bit more information. Perhaps too much information. But if you saw what 2 colors Adam Prozac's blue-red deck was today, tweet at us at SCG Live. Use hashtag SCG Premium, and let us know what 2 colors Adam Prozac's deck was today in his swan song before he goes to work for Wizards of the Coast, doing some R&D stuff and making the magic happen. Making the magic itself.
Literally.
Yes, literally.
Right. Literally, figuratively.
And let us know. We'll be back with a winner after this next game, which, at the pace the first game's going, might be over before you actually get finish 140 characters.
Right. We gotta make sure it's quick. Hopefully, we see some less explosive start, because I kind of want to see the Rock deck's removal suite against the kind of longer mid-rangey green start that he could have.
Now, the advantage to this match being over in 1.5 minutes is that then we have time to watch them on a red deck.
That's true. That's true. Nothing more in this world I like than mono red, let me tell you.
Jeez. Just tell me how you really feel.
Great deck. All right, so we have a sideboard put on the screen here for you for your
Did you see
pleasure.
the Esper deck that finished top 16?
Was there an Esper deck?
No. Are you kidding me?
He wrote me into that one. Was there one? Please? Oh, poor Esper.
No, there was definitely one in the 04 bracket, though.
Yeah, I know. Me and him were talking earlier about strategy, card strategy. Esper, mark my word. No, never mind. All right. So let's look at the sideboard here. Change the topic. Primeval Bounty. What a sweet card that is.
Yeah,
right?
and that card's been seeing a lot of play ever since, basically ever since it's come out. And now it's most often been a sideboard card out of Jund decks that are looking for, an alternative way to have some board presence that isn't as vulnerable to removal.
Right.
But it actually works in this Archangel deck too, as giving them another way to go long against somebody who has a bunch of sweepers. And we might actually see it in this matchup.
It's definitely better than Deadbridge Chant, I think, that Jund tried it at the beginning, because that was kind of a risky card where you remove 10 cards in this, detention sphere, where this card has in-play capability, immediately play your lane, get some action out of it, and also you're not really getting blown out by getting it removed. You're not losing a big chunk of your deck.
Just Deadbridge Chant is, it was a decent card, but it's a lot worse, obviously, in the world of Scavenging Ooze.
Yeah, definitely too. The graveyards are not safe nowadays.
Well, particularly since you're using the ooze yourself,
Right, yeah.
And if you ooze it, you lose it. So then you can't actually...
I feel like I got the long con there. The setup. How about Pay No Heed? What about that card?
Pay No Heed. You don't see a lot of that one.
No, I'm sure there's a nice pun for Pay No Heed somewhere in there. Pay no heed to pay no heed. Don't pay any mind to it. I'll leave the pun.
Yeah, so we're going to take a nap, and after we wake up, we're going to come back. Obviously, sideboarding has lasted significantly longer than that last game, because that was a thrashing.
Yeah.
And actually, Wicher didn't stumble on his mana or anything, right? Like, he had it was just the perfects. Like,
He made one mistake with the victim.
Yes.
But I don't think that would have ended to change the result of that match.
That's everything Perdue wants. He wants to win the die roll. He wants a mana creature on turn 1. He wants a 3-drop on turn 2. He wants multiple Voice of Resurgences, and then as a result, Life-Bane Zombie whiff.
Right.
And he could have played he could have just waited and been like, I want to do more damage with my Advent of the Worm.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't I just pass instead of playing the 2 Voice of Resurgences? But the way he did it, played around Life-Bane Zombie, and he got rewarded.
Right. And he got a free elemental out of it somehow too. I bet he was shocked to see that happen. So that's always that always can be a scenario too. It's not like it's easy for us up here in our ivory towers to discuss not to make mistakes, but you play Voice of Resurgence because that's a mistake-prone card for your opponent. It's not how often do you see Azorius Charm being used? You're like, oh yeah, rats,
Elvish Mystic. So already, Perdue back to his wily ways.
Mm-hmm.
You think this time Wicher's thinking to himself, maybe I should just kill that? No, he decides to sign in blood, which is better on the play,
Right, definitely.
Doesn't have to discard at least.
What do you think about that card? Do you board that card out in certain matches, maybe against red or the super aggressive decks?
Oh yeah, sometimes.
I think I would. I think it's definitely a 4 of is a little tad too much against these decks here.
It's pretty good in these against green-white though, where like each of your spot removal spells can hit so hard.
Right.
You need a way to get a little bit of an advantage card-wise.
Here's the captain of the hitting hard team here from green-white though.
Yeah, and he chooses not to make a pair, which I think is just real good because he wants to make relationship with something that actually hits a little bit harder.
Right.
Next turn, which he'll still be able to get in for double strike the first time.
Yeah, the Pilgrim is not exactly a heavy-handed gentleman there. All right, we have the Paladin abruptly removed from play.
Yeah, and wisely doing it on his own turn to avoid sideboard shenanigans like ready willing, or mostly just ready willing, but might as well play around it.
Right, definitely. It's there, play around it.
Yeah, and if you didn't, then you should have.
Yep. All right, so we have basic land in play. I like it. Taps 2 for a Voice. Sadly,
no responsoroo.
He is out of green because if he had more green, I see a Scavenging Ooze in his hand, which he cannot cast.
Wait, so is that Avacyn's Pilgrim?
Yes.
Yeah, that's Avacyn's Pilgrim, not Elvish Mystic. Perfect. Yeah, and he actually can't cast Advent of the Worm either.
Right.
That's tough.
Yeah, so he's going to need to draw a force here, all natural. All right, another Abrupt Decay. So we're just killing things, One for one.
Abrupt Decay on the that's not to call that a 1-for-1. I think is a loose use of the term 1-for-1, but
a 1 for 0.75. 1 for half.
I would go with 1 for half.
1 for half. Okay. Well, let's see. Mike does not have a follow-up with that. And like you said, I mean...
I don't know about not having a follow-up.
Right.
That's green mana. I think you just main phase Advent here, right? Just so you can bring the beats even harder.
Yeah.
Then you're attacking for 4.
You're not tricking anybody with this deck. You know, if you pay 2 life, they go. You know, we know you. We know you.
The jig is up.
The jig is up. It's time to play main phase and get some more elemental damage in.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's.
All right. So. You can play 2 guys here too. No, that's fine. Both are fine.
Both is okay.
Yeah. Guy. I think he has Advent and something. Well, maybe not.
God, I don't know about all this.
Maybe he's playing around.
Oh, okay.
Removal spells.
Yeah, smart. Look at this. Who would have knew? Heath Perdue, the correct crushing play.
Okay, so he's going to gain a life for kicks. Remove a creature from the graveyard. And then we're going to hit only for 3.
So that's, I mean, now, at least, you know, from Wicher's perspective, at least he's got a little bit of life to work with. You know, because like if he drops a Thragtusk right now, he's actually not in the worst shape.
Not at all. All right, so it looks like he has another removal spell in his hand.
Vraska. That's his big gun.
Right, he does have Thrag. He has Thrag, Vraska in hand, and then he's got...
But he doesn't have the land for the Thragtusk.
Right, so we're going to settle with a demon.
Yeah, Desecration Demon's pretty powerful in this matchup. It actually is bigger than all the creatures. Now, obviously, he's got a lot of fuel he can sacrifice to it, but if Wicher's got, you know, a fair bit of removal in his hand, this Desecration Demon will put Perdue on a pretty short clock.
Oh, yeah. And I'm looking at the spell section of his deck, and...
he does have Celestia Charm in the sideboard.
Yeah. And then his main deck is important to notice here. 0 spells. All creatures. We are 100% creatures in our main deck.
Advent of the Worm, the only technical spell, and it just makes a creature. That's all it does.
Yeah. You tricked me with that one. But Celestia Charm is definitely an inclusion here, because you know that Mike is bringing in... okay, so he does have Garrick too. So
yeah, but Garrick just makes tokens too. It's literally just all guys.
Okay, so 2 Garrick, 4 Advent, and then creatures. 4 Archangel Thune. Man, that's such a sweet card.
Oh yeah, no, I think once you Archangel Thune, you might as well go all in on it.
Yeah. I think that's a card like Thragtusk that, obviously not Thragtusk. Thundermaw Hellkite received almost no play on its birth here, and Archangel Thune kind of following suit here.
Actually, you know, I mean, it's kind of surprising. Thundermaw Hellkite top 8'd the first SCG Open after it was printed.
It must have fallen right off then, because I remember that card going from $8 to $50 when people started playing that card. Yeah, so I think I warned those about Archangel
Who could have seen that coming though? Yeah. I mean, it's a dragon. Yep. Although a lot of dragons are good these days.
It's kind of like those base set mythics. No one's going to go and buy any more base set out of print. So, you know, get those mythics while you can. So make sure you have them.
We've got the 3/3 Elemental, the Advent token, and the Evanescence Pilgrim. Plenty of mana facing down a Thragtusk and Desecration Demon. Things are starting to slip away from Heath Perdue. He still has more gas, but it's going to be tough. He's got to, you know, like he can't exactly feed the demon very much.
Right.
And that Thragtusk is going to soak up so much damage.
Yeah, definitely. And I think,
which do you think you block here?
I think you block the elemental.
Really?
Yeah. I think that the worm is going to be the same size as the elemental, if not a little bit smaller. I think because your only way you can lose this game is if Heath unloads his hand and just has more guys. Because Mike's just rocking a Vraska. He can just spot removal the worm the next turn too, you know?
Okay.
So, I mean, it doesn't really matter because we know he's playing next turn. He's going to Vraska kill the other one, so...
He does kill the elemental token.
Yeah, I think the upside is minimal, but either one is fine, I think.
Classic both is okays.
Classic both. He could have paid no heated there and saved his guy if he had it, so...
Yeah, I'm not thinking that Pay No Heat is coming in this matchup.
No, it's for Bonfire, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It prevents all damage from any source, I believe.
Yeah.
So, Heath aware that Bonfire is a menace. Has a sweet... Oh, he drew a Disciple.
Yeah, I don't think Bonfire... Yeah. You're not talking about this matchup, just in general.
In general, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I don't think Mike is going to be stomping ground and then Bonfire anytime soon, but... I
also didn't think I was going to see any go for the throats in this tournament.
That's true, so yeah.
You never know.
Yeah, go for the throat did make a resurgence in this almost top 32 or whatever.
So here's Vraska. You're just going to nail that worm token, right?
Yeah, definitely. You have to assume if you're Mike that he has another Advent because he missed a land drop a couple lands ago. And either A, he's just mad bluffing here, or just has a bunch of spells that do nothing. You have to put him on Advent here.
Yeah, but it's okay. You just don't attack with your beast. You attack with the Desecration Demon, and you're in good shape, right?
Well, the Advent has trample, so he'll be able to get through the beast.
Oh, I know, but you're just not going to throw your beast away.
Oh, yeah.
What I mean is you don't just throw the beast into the Advent.
Right, right. Do you even attack with Demon here, or do you force him to sack the Pilgrim as a removal
Who cares
spell?
about Vraska?
Yeah. No,
I would attack with a Demon. Don't be a punk. Heath could tap the Demon anyway if he really wanted to. Yeah. And besides, you got Heath down to 13. Hit him for 6 more.
I think he's going to go the removal route. I think he... do you want to trade 6 damage for a 1/1? I don't know if you want to do that or not.
For a 1/1? What do you mean?
He's the Avacyn Pilgrim that he's going to sack here ultimately. Is it worth the 6 damage?
Yeah, I mean, the 6 damage, would have done the same thing next turn.
Right, yeah.
Except his life total is lower, he's got less options. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm sure that it's close, and there's a 50% chance it's the other way. Who knows?
Who knows? Playing big things in
Who can tell? Who actually has time to look ahead in Magic?
Right. I think that's our job, but, whatever. Good enough. We can just live in the moment. Let's live in the moment. So in the moment, green-white here. Plotting, planning, scheming. Trying to figure out how to get through this army of huge things. So he's going to tap for mana. That's a clear, I'm going to sack this guy moment. No other reason to tap the Pilgrim here unless you're planning to sack it to the Demon. And this might be actually genius because he's going to just spend a full turn killing that Vraska, which is not exactly very threatening. Increasing the Demon's size, actually, in the long run. So actually, I think you net a little bit of damage here. So Vraska is attacked. And super dead. So we have an Augur, we have a Disciple of Bolas in hand. Do we play it and draw 7 cards?
I mean, that's pretty sick.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to...
No, you get that's a lot of life, but that Demon is actually getting the job done, though, right?
Right.
I mean, I guess it depends. Do you think you can win with the board? He actually looks behind enough on board that he might actually just have to Disciple.
Yeah.
I mean, first you attack, though, right?
Right, definitely.
But I mean, that is I guess it's not a 2-turn clock because it's really just going to eat some stuff.
Yeah, I think you sack it. I think Mike's deck is good enough. He could draw 7 cards and just be fine. It's hard to lose after drawing 7.
This is going to be oh my god, Wheel of Fortune me.
Yep. I like to draw 7 cards. I'm not gonna lie. So incoming, slew of cards. Oh, I see spell, 2 spells. Oh man, he drew a lot of land there. He actually drew quite a bit of land, but he has multiple disciples again. I'm not sure what else he drew. It's pretty hidden here. Lots of land though. He drew lots of land, so this could be bad. Maybe he should have erred on the side of caution. I don't know. Hindsight, right?
Yeah, I don't know, but how far is he actually getting? Because like the Pilgrim can just tap the Demon, and then he bash for 8. And then what? What if Heath draws any spell?
Yeah,
like he needs to be moving forward.
I don't know. It's clear to draw 7 there.
Maybe
not. A little sad he drew a whole bunch of land. So let's see what we can do with it.
It's not over yet.
No, he has 2 disciples in his hand plus something else. He drew at least 3 or 4 land.
Well, and the Disciple and the Beast can combine to kill the Worm. I mean, he's got a huge amount of life to work with, right?
Right. Yeah. That Scavenging Ooze is definitely a problem. He needs a
removal spell for that. That much is certain.
All right. Here's Mutavault. And he plays a Lifebane zombie.
Anything?
Yep, Pilgrim.
It is Avacyn's Pilgrim.
Okay.
So he removes the Demon. The ooze begins to grow.
Yep.
God, is that 2 disciples and 5 land?
Yes,
land?
He drew miserably for those, so.
Interesting. It's going to be a challenge.
Yep, luckily...
This game has taken significantly longer than the first game, though.
Oh, yeah. We have a match here. So Heath down to pretty much his board, down to no cards. Let's see what he drew here. He drew something. Is this a Trostani we're about to see? We haven't seen this. Nope. 5 mana. Oh,
boom!
My
wow, that was a haymaker.
God.
Wow. Wicher is wishing that was a card that was in his hand when he cast that Lifebane zombie.
Oh, what a draw. Did he Demonic Tutor or Vamp Tutor last turn?
That's a pretty potent little package right there.
Ooh.
And now the Scavenging Ooze instantly putting a plus counter on everything.
Everything. He gets 2 for himself. Pretty neat little trick here. Archangel of Thune, everybody. Definitely a player in the aggro deck.
Archangel of Thune is no one to be trifle with.
Right. especially when Heath knows pretty much with like 100% certainty that Mike doesn't have a removal spell, because he would have definitely killed that Scavenging Ooze on this turn. Not, go for one card that he would have cast with his 5 mana open if it was an actual creature there. So Mike draws. Let's see if he something significant. He's going to need a Augur Dig here if he drew nothing. But man, what outs do we have now with this army of Gigantor creatures?
It's pretty far away. He doesn't have enough swamps to mutilate, right?
No, not even close. Because that ooze itself, or that worm is a 6/6. I don't think he has 6 swamps. Let's see, Mutavault, a bunch of the green-black dual land from Innistrad here.
Disciple of Bolas is a cool, cruel mistress.
Yeah. Thank you for the 7. Oh, they're all land. Well, that was very nice. Tapping 2. Ooze.
Reminds me of when you have Garruk and you just blow it to draw like 5 cards or 7 cards. Even you Wolf Run your Thragtusk, you draw a whole bunch of cards, and and then you're like, man, I would have rather had the Garruk than these 8 cards that are like 6 land and 2 dorks.
Yeah. I'm sure Mike's thinking that now, but then again, against Archangel,
and he would have lost, because if he's got all these cards on top of his deck, it's not like he's getting anywhere.
Yeah. The future was grim either way. So Mike's kind of
not over yet, though.
Yeah, he's thinking about his options here. He's
21 life is a little bit of breathing room.
Right. Maybe a double Mutilate in his future. Maybe you can draw some cards as Disciple. That'll do it, right? Oh, this guy is Intimidate. Almost forgot, but there's a massive amount of lifelink about to happen on the other side of the board. Lifelink from Archangel, life gain from Scavenging Ooze. So any damage Mike does is going to be negated. So he's pretty much down to, let's take a look at his list here. He needs to do 2 Mutilates in one turn.
I mean,
he could Putrefy here and Mutilate, but I don't see. He's going to take an absurd amount of damage.
So hold on. He's got an Ooze of his own.
Right.
So it's not like he's going to take that much damage from that Ooze. Right?
Yeah, he's going to just...
Like, he can empty the graveyards right now.
Right. Pretty much he's going to face down next turn. Let's see, he's going to take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. More than half his life total is going away this turn.
Yeah, which leaves him almost half of his life.
Right. Yep. So
Story checks out.
Yep. This checking half your life total. Yep. Good. So 24 here. He's going to play a Disciple. He left Swamp open.
So what do you think? Does he play? I was going to say, if he plays this...
He left
Swamp open, yeah.
Okay, so there are no creatures in the graveyard, so he's safe with that.
He has to leave Swamp open, though.
Right.
Yeah, because he used all his green. Yeah, he doesn't have enough mana for Disciple yet. But I think depending on how next turn goes, he might be on the... Because he's got like 5 swamps in play?
Yeah. Oh
my god. Things went from bad to worse.
Did we miss him picking the cards he wanted to draw? Or?
Well, Silverblade Paladin makes a relationship with the Archangel of Thune.
So we get counters from the first strike on everything.
Yeah, and then counters again after, and everything's the benefit. Everything gets the counters for their first round of damage also. So this is going to be definitely more than half of his life total.
Yeah, I've crunched the numbers, and Mike's going to take a lot of damage here.
Yeah, those are some pretty specific numbers.
Yeah, I specifically calculated a lot. Is a lot a number? It's a vague number. It's good enough.
I know that a lot is a cute little creature that is fuzzy and worth having.
Is it?
Yeah. A lot.
All right. So Heath is just... I think he's just kind of sitting down excited, counting all the damage he's about to do.
Counting the damage, counting the SCG points,
right?
Counting the dollars.
The money. Yeah, he's just
absolutely. He's just
figuring out a way to spend all them dollars. He's about
the one thing he's not counting is Adam Prozac's storm count.
Right.
Because that's certainly not happening anymore.
That actually was probably more damage than this one. What was that? 75? You guess? It's like 72.
Yeah.
In the same ballpark.
Yeah.
That's a lot of damage.
Yeah, it's definitely more than this.
Yeah. All right. So here comes Team Trample and Flying.
Yeah, I mean, this is only 16 damage if he takes it. So there's no... counting the fact that he's actually going to block.
Right.
This is
he didn't send the Boise because he didn't want to trade his Ooze, and that's understandable. He's going to have his worm can be killed here by the double block. So
yeah, but that'll kill both the Ooze and the Disciple, which will let him ooze even more.
Yeah.
And it's not like his life total is so high that, Perdue's down to 5 life.
Right. It's about to go pretty high right here, though.
Well, yeah. Yeah, that's mostly because of all the life gain. It's about to go berserker bananas.
Lifelink is probably one of my favorite creature abilities. It's my favorite one, actually.
Lifelink is up there. It's one of the greats.
Yeah.
You know, I think, like, I mean, I'm still looking forward to the day that Magic finally makes the Forbidden Trinity Force creature, which is the 3 greatest keywords, you know, out of the normal keywords: Lifelink, Haste, and Flying. Flying, Lifelink, Haste. I mean,
so just tack a Lifelink on a Lightning Angel and we'll be happy, right?
Well, I mean, that has Vigilance. I'm talking just the
actual...
actual...
let's replace that. That's fine. You make the same card
I'm talking
visuals.
the Forbidden keyword,
Okay.
the Forbidden Trinity Force of Lifelink, Haste, and Flying.
Okay.
You know why they've never made a creature that has exactly those 3 abilities? Because it's too cool. Like, once you do that, how can you ever do anything cool ever again?
Right, yeah.
Like, that is like purple. Like, once you do that, once you open that Pandora's box, there's no, there's no putting it back. It's,
right.
You know.
People are going to always want their flying, hasted Lifelink creatures. I know I will. I don't care what colors that is. I'll play that. Well, I guess it would have to be specifically blue, white, red, right?
No, definitely
green
not.
can be
black,
green, I guess.
Black. It could be mono black.
Oh.
If I did if I was doing a set where the Baron made a return, Baron Singer, Baron von Singer II, I would totally make that guy like a flying lifelink, flying lifelink haste.
Yeah.
How sick would that be?
That'd be pretty sick. Haste is definitely not a real black ability. There are some black hasted creatures.
Oh yeah, no, black is
not too many.
Black has
very
haste.
few.
Black is 3rd in haste. I mean, obviously number 1 is red and number 2 is green, but black is 3.
Yeah. It's true. So we have...
Black does everything, at least number 3, except kill enchantments and artifacts.
Yeah, you're right. Look at all those counters.
Yeah. So what's the plan here? Because, like, that ooze is like an 11-11. Like, we're not even close to, like, at this point, there's just silliness going on, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Wicher's having a good little laugh, but he might as well, his back's against the wall.
Right.
As
discussed prior, Mutilate's cool and all, but this is where we wish it was all the lands in play. Still wouldn't even scratch the surface here. All right, so we're going to draw some cards here. Miracle Terminus. Not happening.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one. Well, it was definitely a good run for Mike Wicher.
Yeah, I mean, he did well.
Wow, and here we thought that the Rock might have the advantage, but this has been a brutalizing by Heath Perdue's green-white Archangel aggro deck.
Such a series of plays that led to this, too. He had to whiff on a Disciple, 7 cards. He drew 2 Disciples and 5 land. That's just absurd.
Absolutely.
Heath had to top deck Archangel Thune to make his army, potent. Otherwise, he could just trade all day and then draw cards. And then, when there's even just a slight glimmer of hope, Mr. Paladin comes in just to double strike him out of the game.
So there's a Desecration Demon a day late.
So it's about 17 years late. It's kind of like your kid's already grown up, gone to college, and now you've arrived. That's how late this is. Super, super late. Card draw here.
It's tough because Perdue doesn't actually have any creatures smaller than Desecration Demon. So, like, sacrificing anything to it's a little silly.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I guess, it's possible that sacrifices must be made.
Yep, so maybe he draws a card that will go right to the bin here.
And if you sacrifice like a creature, you get to eat it with the ooze and pump everything again.
Yeah. So he drew something. He's just having a good time.
So we have an update. It sounds like Andrew Tendrum continues his undefeated streak.
Yep.
With black-white control, advancing 2-1 over Matthew Moreno's big red deck.
All right. So that leaves black-white here. We didn't get to see the big red, sadly, but.
Also, by the way, for anybody at home in the market for such things, you can go to StarCityGames.com and check out the new like the previewed cards from PAX are available for pre-order there, including Elspeth, Sun's Champion, the new white planeswalker.
Oh man!
For those of you who haven't seen it yet, it's 4 white, so 6 mana this time. For an Elspeth, it starts with 4 loyalty. Its first ability is +1. Put 3 1/1 white soldier creature tokens onto the battlefield. You know the second Elspeth's minus ability?
Right, that's
actually plus ability here.
I like this card.
Yeah, no kidding. And so the second ability is -3. Destroy all creatures with a power of 4 or greater.
Ooh,
I know.
That's good stuff.
How fantastic would that be right here?
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great
for anybody.
Yeah. What's the ultimate here?
And then the ultimate -7. You get an emblem with creatures you control get +2/+2 and have flying. Which, given the fact that you activated the +1 ability 3 times, is 30 damage or whatever. It's like literally millions.
Can I say openly I love this card?
I would imagine that openly you would love this card.
This card is fantastic. Obviously not a 4 of here.
No, I don't know. Maybe it depends, right? It depends.
It's definitely
it's always 6 cost, and cost is a little bit much, but that card has an incredible board presence immediately. The fact that it flamed on Kabus is a sort of Wrath of God where it comes into play, but it also has just a huge token making presence.
Oh yeah,
that can take over some games. That's going to be an interesting one to watch.
Any Planeswalker that can protect itself passes rule number 1 of Planeswalkers.
Oh yeah, I thought that was the cost 4.
Oh well, that's
rule number 2.
That makes them broken. All right.
Okay, sure.
So being able to protect yourself makes it separates it from the Johnnies of the world, if you will. If I can talk about play a little joke on myself from previous here, but like making 3 tokens as a plus is pretty potent. I like that.
So Wicher throws away his Disciple. As you can see, Heath Perdue has significantly more dice on the table than Wicher has cards.
Yeah.
So this is the end of the road. Reveals that is not a great hand. So Mike Wicher, hell of a run. Finishes 5th with the Rock. Heath Perdue advances to the top 4 with his green-white Archangel aggro. Man, you know what? There's a new legendary land, Nykthos, Shrine to Nyx, which is available on Star City Games. It's a legendary land that taps for a colorless, and it has 2 in tap. Choose a color, add to your mana pool an amount of mana like how much devotion you have to that color. So you can be like,